5 simple exercises from the Songshan Shaolin Temple in Henan Province, China, can drastically change how your body moves and feels after 40. And here's what's wild. There's one on this list that researchers now use as a more reliable predictor of how long you will live than your blood pressure reading. Not your cholesterol, not your weight, not your fitness level. Grip strength, a single measurement that reflects how long you'll actually live. But before I tell you which one, you need to understand the damage sitting has already done to your body. Years of office chairs have compressed your spine, deactivated your glutes, frozen your shoulders, and destroyed your grip strength. Most people over 40 accept this as normal aging. The Shaolin monks discovered something different. 5 movements that completely undo years of accumulated damage. Not through aggressive training, through intelligent movement that restores what sitting has taken away. Let's talk about what sitting actually does to your body. The first damage is spinal compression. Your office chair and 8 hours of sitting compress the discs between every vertebra in your spine. Those discs act as shock absorbers. Throughout the day, gravity compresses them tighter with every hour you sit. By the end of 8 hours at a desk, fluid has been forced out and nutrition cut off. As you get older, the discs lose their ability to rehydrate naturally because they have no direct blood supply. This is where spinal degeneration begins. Not in a single injury, across 1,000 accumulated days of compression with no release. Then there's the hip damage. Traditional sitting doesn't just tighten your hip flexors. It completely deactivates your glutes. 10 hours of daily sitting produces dormant glutes and compressed hips. Those two conditions are directly responsible for the lower back pain, knee pain, and stiff gait that become visible in men by their mid-40s. Your glutes are completely switched off by your chair. Your hip mobility is completely compromised. Your lower back compensates for both. Pain follows. Then there's the shoulder and thoracic spine damage. Right now, your shoulders are forward and your thoracic spine is rounding. The 12 vertebrae in your upper and middle back are gradually losing their ability to rotate. The moment they stop rotating, your shoulders and lower back are forced to compensate for every reaching, twisting, and pressing movement you make. This is where shoulder impingements begin. This is where chronic lower back pain that nobody can explain comes from. Your lower back is producing rotation that should be coming from above it. And finally, there's grip strength decline. Isolation work like bicep curls builds aesthetic arm tissue that carries nothing under real load. Meanwhile, your actual grip strength, the predictor of longevity, is declining steadily. Grip strength is now used clinically as a biomarker for biological age because it reflects neuromuscular function, lean muscle mass, and systemic health in a single measurement. The monks at Shaolin Temple carried heavy objects daily because they lived in a way that made loaded carry unavoidable. You've engineered that demand completely out of your life. The Shaolin monks discovered 5 movements that address all of these problems simultaneously. Exercise 1 is the dead hang. Exercise physiologists at the Hospital for Special Surgery describe the dead hang as letting the spine briefly open up so the discs can rehydrate, take in nutrients, and recover faster. Research measuring pressure at the L4 to L5 disc shows 40 to 60% less compression during a dead hang compared to simply standing upright. The monks at Shaolin Temple hung from beams and wooden bars each morning because a spine that could not lengthen could not last. Here's how to do it. Find a pull-up bar or any sturdy overhead bar. Grip it slightly wider than shoulder width. Let your feet leave the floor and allow your body weight to elongate your spine downward. Shoulders relaxed, core lightly braced, breathing slow. Hold for 30 seconds and build towards 60 over the first 2 weeks. 3 sets resting 90 seconds between each. If your grip gives out first, start with feet lightly touching the floor until your hang time improves. The sensation you want is length through your lower back within the first 10 seconds. If you feel nothing, your lats are still braced. Drop your shoulders consciously and let the bar do the work. Within 1 week, your spine will feel dramatically less compressed. Exercise 2 is the horse stance. The Shaolin Temple documented daily schedule begins at 5 in the morning. Before the monks eat, before they practice forms, before anything else, they hold the horse stance. Temple records describe it as the single foundation of all Shaolin training. Hours of it daily, not because it felt good, but because nothing else developed the specific hip and lower body conditioning their practice demanded. This exercise directly loads the adductors, the inner thigh muscles responsible for hip stability. Standard squats never fully address these muscles. Static stretches do not load them through range. The horse stance does both simultaneously. Stand with your feet roughly double shoulder width apart, toes turned out at a comfortable angle. Sink your hips down until your thighs approach parallel to the ground. Chest up, spine neutral, weight distributed evenly across the whole foot. Hold for 30 seconds and build toward 2 minutes over 4 weeks. 2 to 3 sets. If your knees track over your toes and you feel the burn spreading equally through your quads, adductors, and glutes, you're in the right position. Around 45 seconds, you'll feel the adductors loading hard. That burning sensation along the inner thigh is the exact area that's been dormant and shortening in your chair for years. That's exactly what you're reversing. Your glutes activate. Your hip stability improves. Your lower back pain decreases. Exercise 3 is thread the needle. Functional strength coaches describe thread the needle as the go-to movement for unlocking the upper back and shoulders. It improves thoracic spine mobility, releases tension from poor posture, and counters stiffness that accumulates from daily life. The monks at Songshan Temple incorporated rotational movements throughout their morning practice because a body that cannot rotate cannot function under load. Get on your hands and knees, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Slide your right hand along the floor underneath your body, threading it through the gap between your left arm and left knee like a needle through fabric. Let your right shoulder drop toward the floor and your right cheek follow it down, allowing your thoracic spine to rotate fully. Hold for 3 breaths, then reverse the motion and reach your right arm up toward the ceiling, following your hand with your eyes until your chest opens. 10 repetitions per side, 2 sets. Move deliberately because the slower you rotate, the deeper the thoracic release. Foam rolling temporarily compresses tissue that's already locked. Thread the needle trains your thoracic spine to rotate again, which is the only fix that transfers into your actual movement. Your shoulders open, your rotation improves, your lower back compensation decreases. Exercise 4 is the resting squat. The resting squat is the position the human body was designed to spend time in. Populations that regularly squat to rest and to work show dramatically better hip, knee, and ankle health into old age than those who sit in chairs. Decades of chair use have left most men in the West unable to hold a deep squat with heels flat on the floor. Every restriction that creates transfers directly into every lower body movement you do. Stand with feet shoulder width apart, toes angled out slightly. Sink into the deepest squat you can hold while keeping your heels completely flat on the ground. If your heels rise, hold a door frame for balance and use it to keep your torso upright as you sink deeper. Hold for 30 seconds and work toward 2 minutes over 6 weeks. 2 to 3 sets, heels flat, hips below parallel, chest upright. The discomfort in your ankles and hip flexors during the first week is the compression pattern that it's been accumulating since the last time you spent real time in this position. That's exactly what's being reversed. Your ankle mobility improves. Your hip flexors lengthen. Your knee health improves. Your movement quality transforms. Exercise 5 is the farmer carry. This is the exercise that predicts longevity better than blood pressure. A meta-analysis across 42 studies found that individuals with low grip strength had a 67% higher risk of early death from all causes. A large-scale study published in JAMA followed over 6,000 healthy men between 45 and 68 years old and found that weaker grip strongly predicted disability 25 years later. Research from Nature Scientific Reports linked each 5-kilogram decrease in grip strength to a 16% higher risk of all-cause mortality. Grip strength is now used clinically as a biomarker for biological age because it reflects neuromuscular function, lean muscle mass, and systemic health in a single measurement. The monks at Shaolin Temple carried heavy objects daily as part of temple life, chopping wood, carrying water, hauling stone. They weren't programming farmer carries. They were living in a way that made loaded carry unavoidable. You've engineered that demand completely out of your life. The farmer carry builds grip, shoulder girdle integrity, core stability, and postural endurance at the same time. 4 things that degrade together as men age. Pick up a pair of dumbbells or kettlebells at a challenging weight. Stand tall, shoulders back, core braced. Walk 30 to 60 steps at a deliberate pace, keeping the weights close to your sides. Set them down. Rest 60 seconds. Repeat for 3 rounds. The moment your shoulders round forward, reduce the weight or the distance. Your grip should be working hard while your posture stays locked. That tension is exactly what you're building. Your grip strength increases. Your shoulder stability improves. Your postural endurance develops. Your longevity markers improve. Here's the critical principle. When all 5 movements run together as a weekly protocol, the compound effect is where the real change happens. The dead hang decompresses the spine and creates length that the resting squat then loads through the hips. The horse stance activates the glutes the chair has shut off, which makes the farmer carry stable rather than compensated. Thread the needle restores the thoracic rotation that keeps your shoulder girdle in position during the carry. Each movement feeds the next. None of them look like exercise. That's the point. Here's how to implement this. Perform all 5 exercises 3 times per week. That's it. Your body doesn't need more. It needs consistency. Perform the dead hang for 3 sets of 30 to 60 seconds. Perform the horse stance for 2 to 3 sets of 30 seconds to 2 minutes. Perform thread the needle for 2 sets of 10 reps per side. Perform the resting squat for 2 to 3 sets of 30 seconds to 2 minutes. Perform the farmer carry for 3 rounds of 30 to 60 steps. That's your complete session. 45 minutes maximum 3 times per week. Track your progression. Every week, try to hold longer or carry heavier weight. Small, consistent progression is everything. By week 2, you'll feel significantly different. Your spine will feel longer. Your movement will feel smoother. Your pain will have decreased. By week 4, your body will move like you're years younger. Your posture will have improved. Your strength will have increased. Your pain will be gone. By week 8, the transformation will be complete. Years of sitting damage will be reversed. Your body will feel capable again. If you're committing to these 5 Shaolin exercises, drop a comment saying Shaolin longevity and let me build a community of people who understand that intelligent movement fixes more problems than anything else. And if you want detailed form coaching for each exercise, how to modify based on your current ability, nutrition guidance to support the training, or how to continue progression beyond 8 weeks, hit subscribe and turn on notifications because we're building the most complete restoration community for men over 40 on the internet. People who understand that you don't age. You sit poorly and then call it aging. The Shaolin monks discovered that 5 simple movements undo years of sitting damage. The dead hang decompresses your spine. The horse stance reactivates your glutes. Thread the needle restores your thoracic rotation. The resting squat loads your full range. The farmer carry predicts your longevity. That's the entire system. That's all you need. The decision is simple. Accept sitting damage as normal aging or commit to 5 movements that reverse it completely. The commitment is sustainable. 3 times per week, 45 minutes total. That's it. The results are inevitable. Amigo. From years of accumulated damage to a body that moves like you're decades younger. From chronic pain to complete relief. From declining longevity markers to increasing grip strength and biological age reversal. Now perform your first session. Establish your baseline, and I'll see you in the next video.